but I had believed in God. I had prayed to him because I wanted my mom to get better. Like pretty much half of my life was just, God, make my mom better. Make my mom better. And after she passed, I was like, oh, I don't really have to do that anymore because she's not here anymore. And I guess a part of me kind of felt like God was like taking my mom as a hostage, right? And the hostage is gone and I don't have to pray anymore.
Kanna, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Now, for those of you that are watching, Kanna has recently joined our ministry team here at the Mountain View Japanese Seventh-day Adventist Church. And she has been a tremendous blessing to our team, doing so many things for our church. And, I had the opportunity to hear a little bit of Kanna's story. She has a lot to share, but I heard a little bit of it, and I wanted to give her an opportunity to share with us here her story. And so, Kanna, can you share with us a pivotal moment? How did Jesus intervene in your life in a powerful way?
Right. So it's a long story, but just to make it short, I guess. Just for a little background, I am sort of second generation Adventist. My mom was a Sunday Christian at first, but through me going to an Adventist school in Japan, through God's leading, my mom decided to become an Adventist, and we as a family moved to the States when I was 9, and we were still going to church there. And but because my mom was originally Sunday Christian and she became Adventist because she liked the church, but she never really fully understood what keeping the Sabbath was all about, or like the full doctrine of Adventism, I guess. Like we were like, oh yeah, we love God, we believe in God, we go to church on Saturday because it makes sense, but like other than that I never really learned much. And so what I kind of believed to be what a Christian was is that, oh, you believe in God and that Jesus died for you and that you believe him and you have everlasting life, right? So that was like what I had grown up on, and I never really had a personal relationship with God because my mom and I were like really close, and I kind of put her on a pedestal, like she was kind of like my God instead of who God is supposed to be. So I kind of thought, oh, she can do no wrong. She's a perfect mom. So if she believes in this God, therefore this God should be right. So in my eyes, God was kind of like, oh, he's a God because my mom says he is. And so I thought I had really believed him, but I never really had a relationship with him. So I got baptized at 17, like truly believing that God is real and that he died for me, but he wasn't really my God. He was my grandpa, I guess, because my mom believed that he was the father, right? So yeah, I had grown up like that, and then I guess when I was 21, my mom passed away, and that of course was, like a huge pivotal moment where she was sick for a long time, but I had believed in God. I had prayed to him because I wanted my mom to get better. Like pretty much half of my life was just, God, make my mom better, make my mom better. And I wanted to encourage her in her faith, so I would send like Bible verses to her and stuff, but that was just because I wanted her to get better. And after she passed, I was like, oh, I don't really have to do that anymore because she's not here anymore. And I guess a part of me kind of felt like God was like taking my mom as a hostage, right? And the hostage is gone and I don't have to pray anymore. And so I felt so free. I was like, oh, I don't have to do all these things anymore. And because the rock that I was standing on was my mom instead of God, of course, when that was taken away, I was like, whatever. So I had still believed in the existence of God, but I stopped praying. I never really read the Bible for myself. I was just giving encouraging words to my mom. So I never had that personal relationship. So that pivotal moment that you were asking for happened 7 years later after my baptism. I guess God loves the number 7. I was 24, and this was like 3 years after my mom passed. I, for the first time in my life, wasn't living for my mom, but for myself. I was never into partying or anything like that, but I just started doing my own hobbies, like making podcasts or, YouTube videos. And I found a job, which I was like, I don't go to church anywhere. I could work a weekend job. It's fine. I was planning for concerts. It was a lot of fun. I was in Japan. I, had my own house and all this. It was a lot of fun. I wasn't struggling or anything like that. I was really happy with my life. And on August 20th, exactly, 7 years after my baptism in 2018, I was just laying in my bed and I was just looking at my ceiling, petting my cats. And I was just contemplating and I'm like, maybe God's not real. And then whenever I had, we all have those thoughts, like, maybe, what if God wasn't real? All my life growing up, my mom told me God is real. So when I thought about God not being real, it scared me because I'll never see, my loved ones again. I'm gonna just not exist. That thought is scary for everybody, right? So that fear was there. But this time when I asked myself that question, because I was so happy in my worldly life, I realized that I'd be fine with that. God not being real, I just live this life of 80 or 90 years or whatever, and I just die and I don't exist, and I'd be fine with that. And me being fine with that was the thought that scared me. And I remember I just got out of bed and I was like, what am I doing? I call myself a Christian, and yet I have strayed so far. And I think being baptized at 17 really helped with me having the identity as a Christian, because if I hadn't, I'd be like, I'm not a Christian anyway. I'll just walk away, right? But because I was like, well, I call myself Christian, I believe in God, quote unquote, but I've fallen so far, I'd never really taken time to read the Bible or pray for just me and God, So I just knelt there and I was like, God, I don't even know you're real at this point. I'm kind of doubting you, but if you are real, if I just walk away now, I feel like I'm not fair to you because I haven't given you a chance to even read the Bible or discover you for myself. I just took my mom's word for it. But if he's not real, I'll read the Bible, nothing will happen, I won't lose anything, I'll just walk away with this peace in my heart that I gave him a try, right? But if he is real, he will do something, because then that means the Bible is real. So I'm like, you know what? I'll just read this. I was like, God, I'm gonna give you a chance. If you're real, do something. And the rest was history.
So I wanted to ask a follow-up question, and that is, how did God prove to you personally that he is real? I heard that there are many miracle stories that followed, but if you can just kind of share that with us. So
that was the pivotal moment, right, of where I took the step of, okay, I'm gonna give God a chance, and man, did he work, because I guess, whenever I remember this, it's been, 5.5 years since then, and how I remember it is God was just extending his hand the whole time, all the years of me just, not talking to him. He's just holding out his hand, and I was like, okay, I'll give you. So I just reached out, and he just took it, and he was like, I was waiting for you. He just led me, because he showed me miracle after miracle after miracle that could not have been coincidence. And he convinced this skeptical person, being like there is no way that this can be coincidence, that God is real, he's working in my heart, and the way he has led me in the past 5.5 years, it's a long story, but every moment is so beautiful. So I'd love to have some more time to share that.
Yeah, I know that is so beautiful, and thank you so much for pouring out your heart here with us. And we'll definitely have to have you come back and share that part of your story. So thank you so much, Kanna.
Thank you.